I have fairly closely followed Red McCombs' career as an owner in both the NFL and the NBA, so I know a little about him. And my interpretation of this is that he simply wanted John Gruden to be the head coach, as you just suggested. He simply wanted a very big name to be the next coach at the school he thinks is at least one of the top 3 football programs in America. And what I think just happened, what appears just happened, is that Red McCombs and his power broker cronies at the University of Texas were completely cut out of this job search by the new athletic director who went his own way. So we heard all the big names. We heard Nick Saban, we heard Urban Meyer, we heard Jimbo Fisher, we heard on and on and on, and we heard John Gruden. And I know for a fact that as of yesterday, Red McCombs was telling reporters, some of whom I talked to, that he still believes he could have gotten John Gruden, even though John has been publicly completely dismissive of this and saying, I'm staying at ESPN, period, end of story. But Red McCombs has often been able to buy just about whatever he wanted to buy, and I think he thought he could buy John Gruden and get him to come to the University of Texas. Remember, he has given $100 million approximately. Yep. Think about that, $100 million to the University of Texas. The business school is named after Red McCombs. He has a statue of himself in Texas's football stadium. He's a big deal. He is a major, major donor to that school. So it's going to be very interesting if the new athletic director, Patterson, has bitten off a little more than he can chew here, because this is one man among several insiders you do not want to alienate. Now, let me address this before you do. He came off, as obviously we just heard, as disrespectfully dismissive of Charlie Strong's ability to coach football. Yeah, maybe he could be a coordinator. Okay. I'm sure the question has been asked and was asked yesterday. Is there any racial component underlying his rant, his dismissiveness here? I don't think so. I obviously don't know that for a fact because you never can tell. But in this case, I don't think that's the point. Remember, Red McCombs, by the way, he's in his late 80s now, but he probably doesn't follow Louisville football. It's very possible he had not even heard of Charlie Strong. He wants big names. He knows Saban. He knows Urban. He knows Jimbo. He definitely knows John Gruden. So to him, when he's talking about he could be a coordinator, he means at the University of Texas, not anywhere else. He doesn't care what he did at Louisville. He's just saying, well, he could have been a good coordinator for us. That would have been fine with me. But don't bring him to me as the head coach because I never heard of the guy. That's basically what he's saying. So in the end, I'm going to point out to you that when Red owned the Minnesota Vikings, Dennis Green was his head coach, a black man, and he hired John Lucas, another black man, to be his coach of the San Antonio Spurs. So I leave you with that, and you can draw your own conclusions.
You know, I don't know the man. I appreciate you pointing out what little you do know of him. As a black person, I think it's incredibly careful when we're so quick to point to racism and label people racist. I want to state emphatically, I am not saying that. I'm not about to say that about Red McCombs. I do not know him.
You mean it can be careless?
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
People that say that
I got you.
and call, call folks racist. Whatever. I am not about to say that about Red McCombs. I do not know that. That would be grotesquely unfair to him. I don't know the man, but I do think it's important to point out that it's all right for us, particularly as black folks, to point out that while somebody may not be racist, something that they said comes across as racist.
I'm with you. Yep.
Now, having said that, where would I get that from? You said he's in his 80s, right?
Mm-hmm. Late 80s.
Late 80s. Former owner of the San Antonio Spurs, Denver Broncos, Minnesota Vikings, co-founder of
Denver Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets, I apologize.
Yeah.
It says here Denver Broncos, I apologize, but it says here Denver Broncos. It says co-founder of Clear Channel Communications. Obviously, he's an astute businessman, highly intelligent, although he's older and what have you. We understand that clearly the man knew how to answer a question, all right? Let's listen to this quote again. And rather than hear it, I'm going to read it. I think he would make a fine, I think the whole thing is a bit sideways. I don't have any doubt that Charlie is a fine coach. I think he would make a great position coach, maybe a coordinator. But I don't believe he belongs at what should be one of the 3 most powerful university programs in the world right now. I don't think it adds up. And you basically touched on his qualifications. The man is 37-15. He's won 3 of the 4 bowl games he's been in. He's been to a bowl game the last 4 years at Louisville. That's just at Louisville. Prior to that, he was at Florida for approximately 11 seasons, if I remember correctly. As a coordinator, he's a 2-time national champion. Last time I checked, Texas has 1 championship. They've gone to 2 BCS championship games. They won 1 of them, okay? Over the last 4 years, you certainly, as a program, have not accomplished what Louisville accomplished. So with all of that being said, it is one thing for you to say, John Gruden is the guy that I wanted. I wished all of us were involved. I'm a big benefactor to this university. I think we should have been involved in this process. He would not have been my choice. I want a bigger name. He didn't go that route. He didn't go the route of saying there's somebody else specifically that I would have preferred to have. No. What he did...
He has said that, though.
I'm saying, but what he did here was take an opportunity to denigrate credentials that had no business being denigrated.